It's a pleasant moment to you wherever you are watching Ogun State Television. Welcome to the news at 8. I am Adibola Oshomuji. First, the highlight. Federal government advances commitment towards ensuring self-sustaining healthcare system. Court stops Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing allocation to Rivers government. Ogun Governor Dapo Abiodun assures all-round development of the state. And on the foreign scene, resident in Botswana had 2 polls as Mogwete Mesisi seeks a second term.
On business news, Nigeria's internet consumption drops first time in 7 months. Details of these and more when I return on the business segment of the news. I am Simiat Abaru.
And on sports news tonight, UEFA plans to boast a women's football game with £830 million investment. This and many more on the sports segment of the news. I am Emmanuel. That's how to stay with us.
Don't count the days, make the days count. And don't forget that you can watch us live on Facebook at Ogtv and Ogun State Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on Ogtv website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download Ogtv app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now the news. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Major General Olufemi Olatunbosun Oluyede as the acting Chief of Army Staff. This was disclosed in a statement by the presidential spokesman, Bayo Ononuga. He said Oluyede will hold sway as the COAS pending the return of Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, who is said to be indisposed and is receiving treatment abroad. Until his appointment, Oluyede served as the 5th commander of the Elite Infantry Corps of the Nigerian Army based in Jaji, Kaduna. The 56-year-old Oluyede and Lagbaja were classmates and members of the 39th Regular Corps. He was commissioned a 2nd lieutenant in 1992 and rose to Major General in September 2020. Technological input has been described as an important element to add value and promote art, culture, and entertainment. Speakers at the 5th edition of the Ogun Digital Summit submitted this during the gathering held at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto Abeokuta. Ayodeji Tomori Olumumi completes the report.
The much anticipated 5th edition of Ogun Digital Summit was different from the past ones as it featured culture, art, entertainment, and innovation. The summit convener, Victor Adeleye, admonished participants to make use of the opportunity to explore, network, and develop crafts technologically.
We keep doing this because I've seen how this has helped people to shape how they think. I've seen how this has practically expanded people's mindset. And I've seen how people get to live like this and decide that, oh, I'm going to do this. So I think that one thing that's evaluated currently is exposure.
Speakers at the summit discussing different topics all came to the conclusion that technology is necessary to add value to the promotion of art and culture.
So you have decided to do something in art and culture. I want you to know that you're on the right path.
I will say I wish they join hands because putting arts, entertainment, and technology together will make things better.
Together, let us leverage technology to break down barriers, amplify marginalized voices, protect our planet, elevate human potential. You can see someone is number one at something, but there's so many number ones that we've forgotten. They were number ones maybe when we were 10, when we were 12, when we were 15. Now they're not number one anymore. And it just goes to show that you are not the final consumer of the talent.
Chief of Staff of Grazier Technologies Limited, Shola Oteshile, while dissecting the theme for the summit, Innovation Pathway to the Nation's Prosperity, employed participants to infuse technology with other sectors for the development of the country.
What Ogtv Summit is trying to do this year is to marry technology with our culture. We want to let you know that yes, we have made all technical skills. What can you do to bring it beyond learning?
There were panelist sessions where experts shared from their wealth of experiences with the participants. Ayodeji Tomori Olunmi, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State government has commiserated with the family of Monday Arijo, a student at Obada Grammar School, Idiemi, who reportedly died Friday last week after being subjected to corporal punishment by a teacher in the school. The delegation, led by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, was the second government team to pay a condolence visit to the family. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
The delegation of Ogun State Government, led by the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, visited the family of Monday Arijo, who reportedly died after being subjected to corporal punishment by a teacher at Obada Grammar School, Idiemi, in Imekwa for local government area. Arigbabu, while condoling with the parent, assured them that the state government will continue to monitor and hand out sanctions to teachers who are found culpable of administering corporal punishment to students under their care, noting that teachers should always endeavor to follow the rules of the game. Speaking on behalf of the family, Mr. Abdul Latif Oduton noted that the family is not interested in a legal battle with the state government, but expects that it will do all in its power to ensure that such an incident does not happen again anywhere in the state. Professor Arigbabu, after visiting the family of the deceased, sounded a note of warning to teachers in the state-owned primary and secondary schools to desist from administering corporal punishment on pupils and students under their care.
What government has done is also to set up a committee to look into the remote causes and all other circumstances that surrounds what has happened. Because whenever anything happens, the most important thing is for us to be able to learn from a particular situation. Not only about Obada Grammar School, but also how do we extend and extrapolate whatever we have seen into other schools, and also how do we incorporate this into the training that we continue to give our teachers, even those of them that are in service, and by extension even to those that are in service, because all these type of things, when they happen and you don't go into it and actually examine properly, you are not likely to be able to get the benefit of using the knowledge or the experience gained from it in other situations.
The Commissioner also urged teachers to continue to display a high level of maturity and professionalism, adding that there are other ways of enforcing discipline rather than corporal punishment.
Teachers, in as much as we wouldn't want to discourage them from doing their work, but we want them to do it in accordance with the rules of the game. And that's what we are saying. We have said this is the type of environment we want for these children, and this is the way we want teachers to conduct themselves and comport themselves in schools. So let us just play by the rules of the game. You see, don't let us be discouraged that when you legislate against something, you still see some people doing it. The most important thing is for us to continue to monitor and also to hand out sanctions whenever we find anybody culpable. That is the most important. And that's why this one, we are not taking it lightly. We have taken all necessary steps to unravel whatever surround this particular situation so that we'll be able to learn, all of us, teachers, parents, head teachers, principals, even government, everybody will learn from this situation. And that's why we are going into the root cause. By the governors actually said a high-powered investigation team should look into this, while the police is also doing their own, on the other hand.
Meanwhile, a post-mortem is being conducted by the Federal Medical Center, FMC Abeokuta, on the late student to determine the cause of his death. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
May the soul of Monday Arijo rest on. Ogun State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has announced that all public and private primary and secondary schools, as well as government science and technical colleges in Ogun State, are to proceed on mid-term holiday. In a statement by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, the mid-term holiday for first-term 2024-2025 academic session begins from Thursday 31st October to Friday 1st November 2024. Schools are expected to resume for academic activities on Monday 4th November 2024. Parents and guardians are enjoined to take adequate care of their wards during this holiday. A total of 186 students who have excelled in character and learning were released to the world as Chrisland University Abeokuta held its 6th graduation for the 2023-2024 academic session. 25 of this number made first class, while 18 were awarded by the Board of Trustees as Best Graduating Student. At the convocation, the Vice Chancellor of Chrisland University, Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola, noted that the graduates are products of functional education, which has equipped them to be locally relevant and globally acknowledged. Nkem Ago witnessed the ceremony and now reports.
A gathering of academics, royal fathers, top government officials and notable dignitaries from various walks of life at the auditorium, Chrisland University, Abeokuta, for the 6th convocation ceremony, as a total number of 186 students were churned out with 25 first-class students from various fields. In a convocation lecture titled Regional System and Youth Development, Engineer Umar Buba Bintri champed on the need for improved foundational literacy and numeracy, which are key to building a solid educational system.
We are yet to realize that to achieve all these good things, everything firmly depends on the quality, vibrance, connectivity, and efficiency of our human capital and also knowledge, based on fantastic research, evolution of technology, and then using it to innovate as an ecosystem.
Vice Chancellor of Chrisland University, Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola, highlighted the rapid improvement made by the institution in its 9-year sojourn, which include not limited to the academic programs, students' development, alumni relations, strategic partnerships, among the other landmarks achievements, while expressing gratitude to both academic and non-academic staffs, as well as parents of the graduates for their unwavering support and trust in the citadel of learning.
Chrisland University's excellence extends to international standards, as demonstrated by our 100% pass rate in the EC Council exams by cybersecurity, an internationally recognized examination. This achievement reflects our commitment to equipping students with skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in today's rapidly evolving digital space.
Graduates said though the journey was not easy, they are happy it's turned out a success in the long run.
I started here 4 years ago in 2020, and it was a really long journey and it was really hard, but I thank God for helping me, for surrounding me with good people, amazing lecturers, good friends, and yes, it was an amazing journey.
I'm so happy to be one of the graduates here. I graduated with software engineering, BSc, science, second class.
Goodwill messages were received from other higher institutions of learning as graduates were led to receive the Chancellor's handshake. Nkem Agu. Ogtv News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has assured people of the state that the 2025 budget will give adequate consideration for their basic needs while targeting all-round development of the state. Governor Abiodun stated this during a citizens' engagement meetings held in Ogun West Senatorial District as part of preparation for the 2025 budget. The engagement, which was held at Frontier Hotel Hall in Ilaru, had in attendance royal fathers, community leaders, women groups and associations, among others.
Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the State Commissioner for Finance Dapo Okubadejo at the meetings, told the people that his administration was irrevocably committed to participatory and all-inclusive government and budgeting, adding that the purpose of the meeting was to interact with the representatives of various towns and communities to articulate their needs for inclusion in the 2025 budget.
Our administration recently approved the construction and rehabilitation of the following roads: reconstruction of the Bible College Road altar and the construction of Afro Palace, Ajeru Ibara Road, from local government area. Our administration is dedicated to enhancing rural infrastructure as a vital component of economic growth and development. To improve our rural accessibility and boost agricultural productivity, we are constructing 64.01 kilometers of rural roads in select local government areas, including the Yewa Division.
The State Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Olaolu Olabimton, said the current administration in the state remain committed towards consolidating on global best practices by accommodating some key inputs gathered during the town hall meetings across all the 4 divisions of the state.
Accountable leadership, enhanced productivity and connectivity, enhanced value chain, equity and enhanced human capital development, healthcare facilities for all Ogun citizens, enhanced ease of doing business, and peaceful coexistence.
Royal fathers, community leaders, women groups, artisans, religious leaders, with youths not left out, one after the other, submitted their inputs.
So we are betting that most of the rural roads needs attention.
The uncompleted road from Imashai to Ayetoro, from Abeokuta to Igbogila, from Ijaleketu to Igbokofi, and from Ayetoro, Ijakasale, Ijakaoke, especially the bridge across the Yewa.
Ogun State Head of Service, Kehinde Onosonya, appreciated the initiative, saying the state is in safe haven with such engagements.
Inputs and robust feedbacks are basic ingredients of a focused and qualitative governance. You will have observed that the inclusive approach to governance of this administration is legendary. So what we are seeing here at play is people-oriented governance in the making.
Responding to the request of the people, the State Commissioner for Finance, Dapo Okubadejo, said the budget will be a legacy of hope, financial stability, fiscal prudence, and drastic reduction in poverty by strengthening all regulatory and institutional frameworks that are crucial to the preservation of the state's rich cultural, financial, and historical heritage.
Still ahead, court stops CBN from releasing allocation to Rivers government. More news and reports after this time out to stay. Glad to have you back. You are still watching Ogtv News at 8. The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Bianca Odumegu Ojoko as substantive Minister of State Foreign Affairs. The other ministers who were also confirmed are Dr. Jumoke Oduwole as Minister of Industry, Trade and Development, Dr. Neta Yiwala as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Mohammed Ndogi Adi as the Minister of Labor and Employment. Also confirmed are Idemok Tamaya as the Minister of Livestock Development, Yusuf Atta as the Minister of State Housing, and Dr. Suwaiba Said Ahmad as Minister of State Education. The nominees were confirmed after about 5 hours of screening by the Senate. Earlier, the Senate, following a motion moved by the leader, Okpeyemi Bamidele, suspended its role to admit the Special Advisor to the President on Senate Matters, Bashir Lado, to bring the nominees into the plenary. Last Thursday, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, read President Bola Tinubu's letter nominating the new ministers. The federal government is advancing in its commitment to ensure a self-sustaining healthcare system by collaborating with pharmaceutical giants to bolster local drug production in Nigeria. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, stated this in Abuja. He said that the collaboration was part of President Bola Tinubu's presidential initiative towards unlocking the healthcare value chain. According to Pate, the initiative is to transform Nigeria into a hub for high-quality health products manufacturing and reduce dependency on importation of medical supplies. In a recent discussion with GSK, the minister highlighted government focus on local production of essential pharmaceutical products. He said GSK's commitment to investing in Nigeria's health sector through localized production marks a significant step towards achieving health security. In reflecting on the progress and tackling issues confronting healthcare system, the Nigerian Medical Association Ogun State Branch has organized a media conference to mark the 2024 Physicians Week. The event, which witnessed lectures on talent retention in the healthcare system, as well as mitigating the impact of infectious diseases, was held at the Secretariat in Abeokuta, Ogun State Capital. Toyin Ogundepe report is presented in this package.
The 2024 Physicians Week is coming at a time medical doctors are facing a series of issues affecting medical practice in Nigeria. This is just as the brain drain syndrome is impacting negatively on the profession, while disparities applying universal remuneration is another concern, the STEM shortage of manpower. With the theme, ensuring universal applicability in remuneration, a panacea to talent retention in the health industry, a former commissioner for health in Ogun State, Dr. Babatunde Ipaye, highlighted reasons why it is critical to rescue the industry from the brink of collapse, as healthcare delivery must not be compromised.
You bring reasonable points backed by evidence into the listening ear of decision makers, the policy makers. If all of us agree and then we generate evidence and put before the governor in a way that it is convincing and in a language that he understands. Advocacy is not about the medical jingoism.
On his part, Ogun State acting epidemiologist Dr. Olakunle Akinbowale conversed a more rigorous public awareness on the risk, signs and symptoms of infectious diseases like monkeypox outbreak to prevent any devastating on Nigerians.
You as doctors come into play at health facility level. If you did not detect, if you did not report, there's little or nothing we at the state level or we as the technologists cannot do. There's nothing to investigate if there's no report.
At a press conference that preceded the opening ceremony, Chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Ogun State Branch, Dr. Lukman Ogunji reeled out activities lined up for the celebration.
We will be hosting events including Health Summit. The Health Summit will feature both local and international captains of industries in the health sector. It's high time we redefine the healthcare system, which will lead to change in how health is rendered and assessed in Ogun State.
It's also a week that is organized in such a way that there are outreach programs that are meant to serve the community.
The forum afforded Dr. Lukman Ogunji opportunity to point out a wide range of issues that barring effective medical practice, which include proper remuneration for doctors and other healthcare workers, for government to look into the apparent deficiency in salary of clinical lecturers in basic medical science, basic clinical science, and other sciences. As the 2024 Physicians Week progresses, it is imperative for all stakeholders to come to a roundtable to chart a roadmap for a sustainable healthcare system with enough budgetary allocation.
And still on health, over 100 persons have benefited from a free medical outreach organized by the Nigerian Medical Association, Ogun State Branch, an offer of services to support the health and well-being of elderly individuals and young ones dealing with different health challenges. The chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Ogun State Branch, Dr. Lukman Ogunjimi, said the outreach is committed to making a difference in the community by actively involved in awareness of neurological disorders and promoting education on prevention, early detection, and intervention. The medical outreach is part of the 2024 Physicians Week. Nkem Ago was at Oshile of Egba's Palace, Shapon Abeokuta. Her report.
Under a corporate social responsibility initiative, the Nigerian Medical Association Ogun State Branch, while celebrating the 2024 Physicians Week, is reaching out to people with offer of free medical consultations. With the belief that the state of wellness is a continuation process, the free medical outreach covers urine tests, weight check, pulse, blood pressure, general body medical checks, and donation of free drugs to patients in relation to their diagnosis. The turnout was not unexpected, as many trooped out to avail themselves of the opportunity to know their health status with a view of proffering solutions. To the beneficiaries, the lifetime opportunity is a welcome development that must be applauded concerning the prevailing economic challenges.
The stress, because when you go to the hospitals, you have to go through so many things, but when you see something like this, it is very easy. You get there, you check yourself, then you're given a free medical stuff. So that's one of the excitement. Another thing is it reduces your expenses. So I think at least one or two things will be given to you. And with the situation of the economy now, it will reduce your expenses. So
I'm very excited because for them to bring something of this to our environment or our neighborhood is a very good thing for me and those that are around our area here. Those old people, they are able to benefit from it.
Mr. Kayode Shobande is a staff at the Oshile's Palace, and he was full of praises to the sponsors while calling on other stakeholders in the health sector to join in the quest to ensure quality health care delivery to as many that needed it.
They've done wonderfully well by bringing this program for the benefit of our people. So I must sincerely appreciate them with the current situation in the country. it will go a long way in assisting our people.
Chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Ogun State, Dr. Lukman Ogunjimi, emphasized that the medical outreach is in a close concert with local care providers, social service agencies, and community organizations to identify and address the unique needs of the elderly.
Apart from the enormous work that we are doing in the hospital, we think that some may not have the capability to come to the hospital setting. However, we should bring it down close to their door and necessitating this free health care service.
This initiative by the Nigerian Medical Association Ogun State branch will no doubt complement government efforts at providing affordable and qualitative health care services accessible by the teeming populace. Nkem Agu, Ogtv News.
And away from health, laying of asphalt has commenced on Ikene Ayekwe Road as Ogun State government intensified efforts at making more roads motorable, while the contractor handling the project was commended for the quality of work being executed. Ogtv's new crew who visited the project reports that the socio-economic life of the people has started witnessing a positive turnaround, with the little progress so far being recorded. Matthew Showme completes the report.
As sons and daughters of Ikene in Ikene local government converge for another socio-cultural celebration, the carnival will no doubt be celebrated in a grand style as the town is witnessing a major turn around with the construction of the major road running through the local government headquarters.
So the asphalt laying for now is going to stop at 400 kilometer. And we are in a rush because of the Ereke Day that they have, so that they can be able to make use of it for now. So before we now be able to continue on the sub-base of the other ones. So that's why we see we are on asphalt laying for now.
The name of the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, who made a promise to reconstruct the road during the last celebration, will no doubt be in the mind of everyone as we celebrate another Ereke Day festival. Some indigenes believe Governor Abiodun's leadership style is a good template worthy of emulation.
And it's a good one from our governor. We appreciate him and we want to say he should keep it up. I don't know that we can have a wider road like this. I grew up here and I can see the one on the middle. That's the only one that I even thought that's the end of the road. But now that we can see it now, that new things are coming to it.
We thank God for the new development because it's going to benefit the whole community. It used to be a very bad road before. But with this new development from the government, I think it's welcome.
Another demonstration of the determination of the current administration to spread developments to every part of the states. Matthew Showme, Ogtv News.
Our Federal High Court in Abuja has barred the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, from disbursing further monthly allocations to the Rivers State government, citing alleged constitutional violations by Governor Fubara. In a ruling on Wednesday, Justice Joyce Abdulmalik found that Governor Fubara's presentation of the 2024 budget to a 4-member House of Assembly breached constitutional protocol. Justice Abdulmalik highlighted that since January, Rivers State has received and spent allocations based on an illegitimate budget, describing this as a constitutional aberration. The court order further restricts the CBN, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the state account at Zenith Bank and Access Bank from releasing any funds to Fubara. The judge contended that the governor's actions ignored constitutional requirement for budget approval by a fully constituted House of Assembly. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has adjourned the hearing in the alleged money laundering case brought against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to January 21, 2025. At the resumed hearing on Wednesday, counsel to EFCC, Kemi Finero, told the court that he had 2 witnesses already in court. He said his first application was to formally apply that the court should enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Bello, even in his absence, as it was in full compliance with Section 276 of the Administration of Criminal Justice. The FCC counsel stated that Bello has the right to plead guilty or not guilty, and that can be waived by the defendant. He urged the court to hold that the defendant has waived that right. Kuje Magistrate Court has granted bail to Alex Nwegeche, a member of the House of Representatives representing Aba North and South, for 500,000 naira. Ekwechi was arraigned on a 3-count charge of abuse of office, assault, and threat to life, following allegations by the Inspector General of Police that he assaulted a Bolt driver, Stephen Abuwashiya, outside his Abuja residence. The lawmaker pleaded not guilty to the charges. After taking his plea, Ekwechi's counsel made an oral bail application, which Magistrate Abubakar Umar Said granted with specific conditions. Bail is set at 500,000 naira with 2 sureties in the same amount. Sureties must reside within the court's jurisdiction and provide utility bills as proof of residence. The court adjourned the case to November 8 for hearing. Residents and property owners in several communities in Isheri have been told to stop putting the blame of the perennial flooding in the communities on Oyo Dam, but rather see it as the saving grace in preventing the areas built on the floodplain from being submerged by water. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Ogun River Basin Development Authority, under whom the management of Oyo Dam lies, Engineer Adedeji Ashiru, made this clarification while leading other management of the authority for a town hall meeting with representatives of Ogun Lagos River Basin Communities Association held at Journalist Rendezvous, Isheri. Matthew Showme reports.
The challenge of perennial flooding has been a major headache for property owners in several communities around Isheri, which is being blamed on the release of water from Oyo Dam. Therefore, the essence of this town hall meeting is to address the misconception about the role of the dam, discuss some measures that could be put in place to further control the flooding. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Ogun River Basin Development Authority, Engineer Adedeji Ashiru, said the dam, which was built to control the volume of water coming from transnational rivers, has been at the center of the prevention of the communities built on the floodplain from being submerged by water.
Oyo Dam is not the cause of the flooding in Isheri. We released about 6 million cubic meter of water in June. In July, I think we moved it to about almost like 8 million in July. In August, was about around 12 million in August. That 12 million was very constant till September. 12 million every day. And there was no flooding in the area. We have to leave it for Oyo Dam. There will not be flooding. But unfortunately, we have no control of the ungated tributaries, 52 of them. Engineer
Ashiru says over 52 tributaries, which are not under the control of the management of the dam, flow into Oyo downstream, and the construction of another dam to control the flow of these tributaries, as well as the dredging of Ogun River, which will soon commence, are part of the ways by which the flow of the water could be controlled.
Just signed an MOU with Bansa community. They've released 1,000 hectares of land for us in Bansa for irrigation. Now, so that the water coming upstream of Oyo Dam can also be channeled through to the Bansa community for irrigation.
Chairman of the communities, Engineer Olanrewaju Falade, and the Deputy Chairman, Abayomi Akinde, thanked the management for the interface.
We went to the dam on the 15th, and when we saw what was there, we were now begging that they should not increase.
We seek sensible engagement towards solving the problem of perennial flooding of our communities.
There was an interactive session and a collaborative discussion on how to address the challenge. Matthew Showme, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, OGSEC, has welcomed the recent judgment by the Ogun State High Court, marking a significant milestone in the ongoing commitment to an equitable electoral process in the state. The ruling delivered by Honorable Justice T.L. Kushoko affirms OGSEC authority to conduct the local government elections scheduled for November 16, 2024, and validates that OGSEC has acted in full compliance with constitutional and electoral guidelines. This judgment, in a statement by Chairman of the Electoral Body, Babatunde Oshibodu, reinforces OGSEC mandate to ensure free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. It reaffirms that OGSEC is dedicated to creating a level playing field for all political parties, and that the ruling not only supports its procedures, but also emphasizes its responsibility to uphold the election timetable. It adds that as the election date draws near, all political parties, candidates, and citizens are urged to prepare for a peaceful and orderly polling process. OGSEC also enjoins all registered voters to come out en masse on November 16 to cast their vote. Faithfuls have been reminded to live a life that pleases God. Alhaji Idris Oyeyemi made this charge at the burial of Mama Sariyu Alao, who died at the age of 129 years. Muslim faithful present include the Yasuna of Ogun State, Princess Adebisi Ediosere, and other Islamic clerics. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi has more of the report.
The end of the journey for Mama Sariyu Alao after 129 years on earth. Muslim clerics, Muslim faithfuls, including the Yasuna of Ogun State, Princess Khadijat Adebisi Edionsere, gathered to appreciate Almighty Allah on behalf of the deceased for a life well spent, reminding all in attendance that death is inevitable. Alhaji Idris Oyeyemi admonished that living for God should be the utmost priority.
Just as Mama Sariyu had gone back to her creator, so will it be for all mortals at the appointed time.
Family members of the deceased say Mama Sariyu Alao was a woman who feared God and lived a humble life.
My grandmother is a very good woman and a very gentle one, but very inquisitive. So all the teachings that she taught me while she was alive made me what I am today. I love my grandmother, seriously. I love her seriously.
She was accommodating to us all. Only close relatives knew we were half siblings.
I'm going to miss her a lot. She was a good woman. May Almighty Allah grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus and watch over all that she left.
Mama Sariyu Alao died on the 29th of October 2024. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi, Ogtv News.
Business news is next with Simiat Abaru. Just stay with us.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. Nigeria's internet consumption declined in September 2024, marking the first drop since February 2024. This was according to the latest industry statistics report by the Nigerian Communications Commission. Data users fell to 850,249.09 terabyte in September, a slight 0.82% drop from the 853,954.05 terabyte recorded in August. This drop coincided with a decrease in subscriber base in the country in September. The decline in subscriptions across telecom operators has been largely attributed to the recent verification of national identification numbers linked with SIM cards. The Central Bank of Nigeria has been urged to refrain from intervening in the foreign exchange market through forex auctions. It was also advised to continuously reaffirm the commitment to exchange rates flexibility by adopting a comprehensive, systematic and transparent framework for foreign exchange interventions. The policy advisory issued by the World Bank was included in the Nigeria Development Update, offering recommendations to stabilize the naira against foreign currencies. On August 26, 2024, the CBN auctioned $876.26 million to end users via a retail Dutch auction, a major move away from the traditional sales of foreign exchange to bureau de change operators. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has sounded the alarm on a cartel manipulating market prices nationwide, inflating costs for goods and services despite government stabilization efforts. Addressing stakeholders during a one-day engagement on exploitative pricing in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, FCCPC Chief Executive Officer Mr. Tunji Bello reviewed that the Commission's investigations in major cities have uncovered troubling practices. In the poultry sector, Bello highlighted how influential players are dictating prices, severely impacting smaller producers. Small poultry owners previously sold a day-old chick for between 480 naira and 590 naira and still made a profit. However, the entry of two major market players changed that, he stated, choosing to withhold their names for now. And that's business news tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it. Back to Adebola for the segment of the news.
From the business news, we move to the foreign news. The World Health Organization, WHO, said its Global Tuberculosis Report 2024 released highlight mixed progress in the global fight against TB with persistent challenges such as significant underfunding. Let's now join Olayemi Takuro for details.
World Health Organization said its Global Tuberculosis Report 2024 released highlights mixed progress in the global fight against TB, with persistent challenges such as significant underfunding. While the number of TB-related deaths declined from 1.32 million in 2022 to 1.25 million last year, the total number of people contracting the infectious disease increased from 7.5 million to 8.2 million.